But there was something that was dodgy in staying with the child. The child had a phone and she was making a lot of calls with the granny, a lot of calls. That's where I think my child was even poisoned, when she was still with me. When she was with me in the house, there was a poison that was coming used via the phones, and then she called the granny. And then they created now another story. I am abusive.
So as a platform, my team and I, which is a huge number of people in this studio, and those who are not in this studio, are so committed to creating a space where the conversations build, where the conversations allow us to reflect and find ourselves in other people's stories. If you're one of the people who's been consuming our conversations and you haven't subscribed, which is over 60% of you, I kindly urge you to please subscribe. As I said, there's a big team behind this, and it helps us all to create better content for you, as we're about to do now. Also, don't forget to look at one of the socks that we have provided for you guys. Please buy them. Please make sure that you find the tees as well. These are lovely. The quality is great, and it just makes you part of the community, so that when you're on the street, people can know that you're one of us and you're a person who's committed to having your life impacted. Sisamge, how are you?
Oh, good. And how are you?
I'm doing great today. It's been a long day. I've been working. And it's such a privilege to have somebody like you here, specifically because you're an engineer like me. So immediately when you came here, we connected at that level.
Like-minded.
Right?
Yes. And we are the electrical engineers.
Ne?
So great ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How's your heart? How have you been?
Yeah.
Which space and frame of mind are you in?
Okay, right now I think I am in a very calm state. I am okay. I am healing. And being here alone is part of my healing journey. I'm fine.
Yeah.
The more I talk, the more I speak, I'm well. I feel good. Yeah.
Is it important to talk? Actually, let's speak about that, because there is a faction of people who are like, why are people going around on podcasts and speaking about their problems?
Yeah.
They should be hiding them, because people think that hiding things and taking things to your grave is a solution.
No, it's not a solution. In this modern age, I think even your podcast, guys, all podcasts, you are the therapy yourselves. So speaking is very important. That's why they are therapists, so that you can talk. So if we're coming on social media, on the podcast, and start to talk, it's part of therapy. We are healing ourselves. There's nothing wrong with talking, speaking. Let's all speak, guys. Let's not go to the graves with things that are in our hearts. The more you speak, the more your heart becomes not heavy anymore. I mean, lighter and lighter. And then you can see it's going to glow even in your face.
Ne?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take me to high school. Was high school a beautiful journey for you?
High school? Why high school? Can't you take it to primary?
If you want. Perhaps we'll see where it takes us. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me not say high school or primary. My schooling journey was not the easiest one.
Okay.
But there was something beautiful about it. My IQ was always 100. Smart, intelligent, but in terms of everything that you can think of when you think about a young girl who's at school, it was not a nice experience. I was one of those people who will come to school without a shirt, without a jersey, without a shoes, all of those things. So it was not that great, maybe until grade 9 or so, grade 10, then things started to be better. But in terms of, I'm so grateful because in all of that, my mind was always sharp. I was always smart. I was always number one, and so on, regardless of wearing shoes. I'm wearing shoes, or I have uniform, or I have a shirt or not. Yeah. So,
what does it do to you when you look back as a child to realize, damn, I actually come from a poor family?
I cry sometimes. I cry sometimes. I'm like, oh, especially where I am now, when I'm comparing from where I come from, I'm like, how did I get here? And then people, they want to know, how did you get here? It's a long story. It can be the whole day and other. It's a long story, but it's humbling to be where I am right now. It's humbling, and I am excited. As much as my upbringing or my childhood was not that great, but I'm glad that I came on the other side.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
rose
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
fine. So that's me. Yeah, and yeah, I think we are fine now. We are in the right space, and it's okay. Yeah.
Grade 9 and 10, you said
Mm.
things started getting better. In
Yeah.
what facet of your life did they start getting better?
Okay, when I was in primary, that's where I lost my mother. I lost my mother when I was in primary. I was doing grade 4 and I was 10 years old. I lost my mother in those times. It was year 2000. Those times there was a lot of, okay, let me put a disclaimer. I don't have a problem with HIV, but my mother was one of those people who passed away when AIDS was AIDS. It was killing people. So I lost my mom in
Sure,
that
sure.
space. So losing my mom was so painful to me because the way I lost her, it was those times whereby you cannot touch someone who's HIV, you cannot eat with the spoon that they're using. It had a lot of stigma in it. So yeah, and then my mother got sick and I lost her. And then I was on grade 4 when I lost my mother. And then things became worse, changed, it's changed. Now I don't have a mom. What's the next thing now? Unfortunately, my mother married with me to this family. It was KwaZulu, so my surname was KwaZulu all the time. So when my mother passed away, now the truth is revealed that your mother came with you. You are not actually from here, and it was the first thing. It was the first time I hear about that. And
So
I
for
was
clarity, sorry to interrupt you.
Mm.
Your mother got married
Yeah.
to a man who was not your biological father.
Yes.
And then you took this
The
stepdad surname.
Yeah. So my mother got married before I was born, before she was pregnant with me. But then she couldn't get kids. It was those times whereby when you don't get kids, they will chase you away. So my mother came back now from that marriage. Immediately when she came back, she met my biological father, and then she got pregnant. When she was 6 months pregnant or so, the husband came back and said, "No way, I want you with the child that you are carrying." So when I was born, I was already in that surname, Zulu and all of that. So with my stepmom and with my stepdad and my mother. That's why even the surname is for Zulu and all of those things. So, and nobody ever told me before would say, okay, you are not from here and stuff like that. It only now after my mother passed away, the family now, they start to reveal the truth that you are not from here. Your mother came with you, all of those stories. And it was my first time hearing such. That broke my heart.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
broken so badly.
Yeah.
I'm doing grade 4. I still have a long way to go.
Sure.
And the only family I know is
Ilabantu bakwaZulu. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So now, and bear in mind that I don't know my biological father. No one ever talk about it. I did not know that I have different fathers. I don't know this thing. What is happening? Angiyazi mina le nto ukuthi kwenzakalani, yabona. So when they're telling me nabo bangitshela nje abamazi nabo, they don't know my biological father nabo. They're just telling me because they don't want me here. And now they don't want me here.
Who doesn't want you? Is it
Nah.
the stepdad or
No,
that family?
immediately after my mother passed away, my stepdad remarried
Okay.
another lady.
Okay.
So I think what happened there is when my stepdad married this lady, which I call my ex-stepmother, he told her the truth about me. And then this stepmother maybe took it somehow, then she told me that actually you are not Zulu, you are the surname that we don't know, and you have to go. Because now I was left with my stepmother. My father came now to work here in the mines in Johannesburg. So the person I was left with was this stepmother, and she tormented me. She abused me. She told me that you are not from here. Go. She will throw my clothes outside the window, outside the yard, or whatever. Just go. And then the question I always had at that moment was, where do I go? Because I don't know the father that you guys I have. The only father I know is the one that is in the mines. Where do I go now? And then I had to go to my mom's home. Who do you call them? The uncles. And then I had to
Yes.
go and ask, do you know my father maybe? Who, or like maybe the person that my mother was dating and stuff like that. Okay, they told me. Actually, it's the man that was known because she was a teacher, principal in the area.
Okay.
So they knew him. So they knew him. They told me, okay, your father is so and so. He is from this area. Took all those details. As I tell you, Lungelo, that I was so smart. I was 12 years old, 11 years old, but I wrote it down and I kept that
Piece of paper.
for some years.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I went back to where I was abused, to Zulu family, because that's the only people I knew. They even gave me the number of my biological father. I was calling, you know, when there were phones in the street,
Correct,
somewhere those
correct. The
telecoms were
containers, yeah.
I would have to run and I would call this number. Hi, Dad. I mean, you pay to rand. You pay to rand. And then angifoneli back, you know. So that was my primary. It was my primary school was like that. But thank God we managed to pass. Okay, then there was a neighbor. Remember, I'm at KwaZulu. There was a neighbor who saw all this abuse. And then she said, look, because you've got this piece of paper and you know where your father is, the town, you know where he is, and they even told you the house. They described the house of my biological father. This neighbor gave me 50 rand. 50 rand. She told me that she will take a taxi from here, a bus from here to the next town. Our next town was Ikopo. And then from Ikopo, you will take a taxi to High Flats. So those were the two towns. I had only 50 rand. And then only two clothes. I had only two sets of clothes. I was carrying it to the plastic. Yeah. So I get to the first town, go to the bus, and then the second town. The second town, in a taxi, I asked the driver, hi driver, I'm going to this house. Babu ban ngikaza everything ebhale la ephepheni. Kanti Lungelo, in this text, there is my stepmom, the second one. The stepmom now is the wife of my biological father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm describing the man I'm looking for in this taxi. I've never been there. Remember, I'm describing only to find out that the wife
is in the taxi.
Is in the taxi.
Yeah.
So I'm describing his man, the husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I said just next to her. I did not know her, you know. And then she said to me, I will show you where you're going. Yeah, but as if it's maybe a neighbor or, you know, I will show you where you're going. It was raining. The taxi left High Flats. That was going to the village where
your dad is.
Yeah, my dad is.
Yeah.
And then when we reached this stop, this lady as well, she get off from this taxi. I offered to carry plastics for her, and then she said, okay. To my surprise, I saw the house that was written in the
in your paper. Yeah.
And then I said to this lady, nah,
there's the
mama, there's the house. And then she said, yes, there's the house. But to my surprise, we are getting inside the house together. And then I look at her, I'm like, why are you here? I didn't ask, by the way.
Yeah.
I said, okay. But then when she opens the door, there's a lady who looks like me. Yeah, looks like me, exactly. When I see this lady, it's like I'm in the mirror. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, this is my sister. My mind worked again. This is my sister. But then who is this one? My mind is not telling me that this is your stepmother. Yeah, it's not telling me. And maybe I'm still waiting for something, only to find that it was my stepmother. My father was not there when I arrived. And maybe he arrived after some hours. I don't remember how many hours. And the only thing I remember that day from my father was hi. And then I'm not going to say he ignored me. Maybe he was surprised and scared. Nah, but I remember what he did. He went, our house is he went downstairs, come back maybe 15 times. I counted 15 times without saying any word to me. The only word he said was a hi. Yeah, and then remember that I was waiting for him to introduce me. to this new family. And remember that I introduced myself. So I'm waiting for him to introduce me that, okay, this is the child that I got, maybe Kupi Upi and stuff like that. No, he didn't do that. Ngahlala la dining room in the couch. I did not know where I'm going to sleep, but I could feel the atmosphere that it's not nice. It's not nice. Eventually at night they gave me a room where I'm going to sleep. They were hoping that I will leave. I was not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I was not going anywhere.
I don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, it's not like I was not going anywhere because no. I'm because I have nowhere to go.
Hey family, thank you so much for being loyal to Engineering Your Life. I know that if you're watching this, you're probably here for the second time or the third time. And please, if you're here for the second, third time, please may you kindly subscribe, because if you subscribe, it helps us to get better conversation, get better guests, and get access to creating the best content that we can for you. So please don't forget to subscribe and make sure you continue watching this episode.
Kholwa emandleni onawo.
Oh my, we're finally doing this. What does EYL Africa represent? It's about standing in your power. It's about, in isiZulu, it's Kholwa emandleni onawo, which is our tagline. You will see it on the back of my t-shirts. It's about believing in the power that you have, believing in the power that your God, your guides have invested in you. Shop our socks, shop our t-shirt, and just keep believing in yourself. EYL Africa.
Now available on EYLshop.Africa.
And my sister at that time saying she looked like me and her mom. They were hoping that I'm leaving or something, And worst part is the dad, the father, is not introducing me. So I am here. I'm just an imposter, but I'm not going anywhere, So
did you end up living there for long?
That's why I'm saying maybe my high school got better, because now when I got there, I was doing grade 9. Doing grade 9, and in our house there is a school just across. So I was like, okay, here's the school, I will go there. It was not nice. I arrived in December. January the school is opening. They enrolled me in the school. Still, they were fighting, but they enrolled me. I only lasted for 2 months. When I come back from school, they are fighting. They are fighting every night. They are fighting because I'm here. I might not know other fights, but I don't know what they were fighting about. Obviously, it was because I'm here, and they did not know anything about me. And that 2 months, and then my father, in the Zulu culture, if we are introducing my ancestors.
Sure.
Then ubaba hamba yothenga inkukhu. Went and bought the chickens that we're going to introduce this child to the ancestors. The way they were fighting, those chickens turned out to be the curry. And my stepmother took those chickens and then was mum like that, because she didn't want me to be introduced. She did not want me. And that time I hated her. I hated her for that. I hated her for some time, my stepmother. But now I don't hate her anymore. It's been actually years since I forgave her. I forgave her 2009. She continued abusing me, not liking me even after that. Even now she doesn't. But I forgave a long time ago. Okay, so I left 2 months. I left their house because it was not nice. They took me to a village. It's like a relative of my dad. And that's where I say life became better. It was not better because now I'm in the village whereby we are going to fetch the wood somewhere. We are going to fetch the water. Siyasinda, if you're using the cow dung, siyasinda. So it was so much of a village, but I was at peace. I was okay. I left my dad's home whereby there is a running water. Everything is lavish. But then I was not happy. And then I came to this village whereby I fetch water, all of those kind of things, and I was happy. That's why I'm saying my life got better when I do that grade 9 to grade 12, because I was just living simple life and there was no noise.
It's interesting that you say that for your mental health, simplicity was the solution.
Yes.
Where a lot of people believe that clouding their lives with material, clouding their lives with lavishness is the solution. But it doesn't end there. the beauty of life isn't that we all yearn to be in love and fall in love.
Yeah.
You fell in love towards the end of high school.
Oh, yes. Okay.
How
Actually,
did
I
that
fell
love
in
feel?
love. I
Yeah.
fell in love in my first year. Okay, towards the end of high school, obviously, in my first year at university. Yeah, because I managed to go to the university.
Sure.
So I met a guy. It was 2010.
World Cup.
Yeah. You remember that hype? Yes. There was a hype, and I fell in love with a guy who was contracted by ESCOM. So there were a lot of developments. So he was working for ESCOM. I fell in love with him, and I fell in love with him in September, and January I got pregnant.
Yeah, better.
And there was all marriage talks on that 4 months.
Yeah.
Siyashada, Sakumuzi, and this is story I bought, unfortunately. And that for me, it's symbolized, or it's a reflection of how I grew up. Now you can see that I always wanted a home. I was always not stable when it comes to homes. Now I'm meeting a man who's telling me that we are getting married and we are having kids. And yeah, I bought the story. I bought it and I got pregnant. And if you're going to ask me, was my pregnant a mistake? No, I got pregnant. There was a family in line. There was a
plan.
A plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got pregnant.
Yeah.
January I got pregnant. Yeah.
You get pregnant in January.
Yeah.
Is the pregnancy beautiful? Are you guys still together in love?
Get pregnant in January. By April, the guy did not want me. I'm laughing now because I'm healed. The guy did not want me in April. The
What
marriage
happened
that he was
between
talking
January
about.
and April?
Between January and April, it looks like we are fine. We are excited. Yeah, we're still excited. In that 4 months, January, February, March, April, we are excited. We're going to have a baby. It's our first baby. It's okay. The plan is there. But in April, a switch. He doesn't want me anymore. He's got a girlfriend. I don't even know if that girlfriend was there before me or he got a girlfriend at that time. But yeah, he's got a girlfriend. The girlfriend is older than me because the guy was older than me as well. The girlfriend is older than me. The girlfriend is already working. Yeah, things are nice. Yeah, so he doesn't want me anymore. What does that mean? I have to carry the full pregnancy, like the term alone. But I think, let me say this, in these 9 months, the cravings we have, the money you need and everything, he was providing for that. But he did not want me, the person. Yeah. But he couldn't wait for the baby to be born. When I was crying in these 9 months, I used to say to him, am I your surrogate? What am I? Yeah, well, because he was so interested in the baby to be born. He did not want me who's carrying the baby. He wanted the baby. Yeah. So that was always, and I cried the whole 9 months, actually. I was crying and say to him, but look, we planned to get married. But look, I was a mess. Lungelo. I was a mess.
To what extent?
No, so much, because in that 9 months, today, if you are pregnant, you are still at school. For me, in 6 months, the gap year, that's where I started. I stopped going to university, and it's my first year. And I'm crying to this guy about my pregnancy. Man, I think I got depressed from there. That's how much was it. I got depressed from that because I'm crying. I'm telling him that, look, I need you. And then he is telling me that, no, I don't want you. I don't want you. I just, yeah. Actually, he was telling me that, yeah, he cares about the baby. He doesn't want me. And imagine that now I had hope that I'm going to have a family. It was going to be us, which means now my hope and my dreams are crushed. I'm not going to have that. What does that mean? We need to have a plan moving forward. Obviously, the baby is here. I'll have to give birth. But what is going to happen after that?
Before you give birth, in the latter 6 months, now 6 months you're in a gap year and he's left you. What questions do you have for him? Why did you leave me? Are you finding yourself fighting with this new girlfriend? What exactly are you going?
Him and the girlfriend, they made it clear that it was so clear that it was his person now. Maybe he's going to marry him, whatever. In such a way that the girlfriend, she called me at some point. She said, please leave my husband alone. I thought they were married, actually. all along. And I was young, I was naive. So the girlfriend will tell me that she's going to shoot me. The girlfriend was a policewoman. So I believed that time, because I don't know why I believed it, that the policeman can just shoot you. But yeah, she's told me that she's going to shoot me even in that 9 months. So it was that extent in that 9 months. The last time I saw my baby date in that 9 months was April, and I gave birth in September. I didn't see him. When I gave birth, he came after 2 weeks with the clothes for the child and everything. Yeah, he still did not want me.
So on the day you gave birth, he was not there either.
No, he was not there. No one was there. What happened to me? I was in September, because now I was at home with the stepmom that actually did not love me anyway. My stepmother made a plan that she's going to take a vacation. I call it a vacation. She's going to take a holiday and go to the city, like in Durban, to visit her daughter, the one that I say she looks like me. 2 weeks before I gave birth, So she left. I was alone in the house. Alone. It's my first child, remember? And I don't know what happens when you're about to give birth. I know nothing. The advice and information about pregnancy. That time Facebook was a buzz. So I had a Facebook account, and then there was a group with pregnant women. So I was taking those advice. I'm not sure if they were right or they were wrong, but I was doing whatever they say I was doing, in such a way that before, now I was in, I don't remember this 30-something weeks, just 2 weeks before your due date. And I told myself that, look, I'm alone. The baby date is not here. My stepmother just left. My father, he's got a new wife. And then I'm alone. So what does that mean? I lied and said, I saw the blood. When you're a pregnant woman and you see the blood, it's a red flag. I lied and I went to the hospital. I said, I saw the blood. And they said, no. I said, I saw the blood. They checked me, there was no blood, and they were right. I emphasized, I saw the blood. I did that so that they would take the baby out. I did not want to experience all the processes of giving birth. I don't know them even today. So I did not want to experience them, because I was scared of pain, and maybe I was scared that I will be unconscious, and then what am I going to do? I'm alone. So I emphasized that I saw a blood, and then they resorted in, okay, because you say you saw a blood, we believe you. Let's take you to theater to take the baby out. And that's how the baby was taken out. The experience of giving birth, no, I can't really tell. I only know the one for theater, when they are taking the baby out. And then we came home with the baby. I'm still alone. And then the baby daddy came in 2 weeks.
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later.
What does he
I
say
have
upon...
got these stitches. I've got these stitches. The baby's crying. I don't know what to give this baby. Sure. I'm alone in this house. Yeah, it's...
What does he say upon his return?
It's normal. He's excited. He's going to have a child. That's why I'm saying that I always ask him, were you looking for someone to carry your child, and then you're going to have a child? And I still believe, even today, he was looking for someone to have a child, not to have a child with. He wanted a child, and I was there. I was the easy target to have a child with him, and then I had it. He was just excited that he's got a baby. That's it.
A young, beautiful baby girl.
Yeah, a young, beautiful baby girl.
Yeah.
He's now a father. What happens to the mother? It's not happy. It's not his business now.
Where do you live with the baby girl? Do you continue living with the stepmom?
Yeah. What a painful experience. I continued to live with the stepmom for 12 months after that. My child, my stepmother, she never carried the child. You yourself, you Lungelo, when you see the small child, you will carry the baby with them.
Look, can I carry the child?
Never. In such a way that, when the child is there and they are 6 months now, they can observe their surroundings. My child, when she's playing, when my stepmother is sitting there, she will turn back. She will just turn back herself already. She'll be lying if she did. She never. No
nappy change. No bottle time.
What?
No mixed
I'll
bottle.
go to town, to this town to buy the milk with the baby. Yeah, on my bag. Even if she's there, I would have to take the baby to the neighbor. Like, she didn't bother herself. So we did that for 12 months. After 12 months, then my mind came back and said, look, you took a gap year. You need to go back to school. What's going to happen with the baby? Before that, okay, what's going to happen with the baby? I made some plans, the uncles that I was talking about. I tried to take my baby to the uncles, but as well, we are not that close. We don't know each other. I don't know how they felt because I left the baby with the helper, but then they chased the helper and left the baby at the crash. So I don't know. I don't want to talk about that a lot because I don't know how they were feeling, what they were thinking, and so on. So when that baby was left at the crash, that's now we came with the baby daddy now to fetch the child.
So you called the baby daddy
Yeah,
and said, no, we have a crisis. We need to go fetch the child. The child is abandoned at crash.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how now we're taking the baby to his family.
His family being his mom.
His mom.
Okay.
Yeah, his mom.
Which is normal.
It's okay. And
people
go to school.
Yeah, people need to go to Ukoko.
Yeah, Ukoko.
And be taken care of by their grandmother.
Yeah, it's normal, but it's normal. Okay, that time Ukoko was still working, Ukoko was in my kitchen. So
yes, as a
wasala no aunt kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, but of which is okay for me as long as I'm at school and the child is growing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like that. But still me and the baby daddy we are not together. So now I got back to school. I'm a DUT, I'm a student, and I don't have money and I'm broke. To see the child, maybe I will see the child once in 3 months, if that is lucky, or once in 6 months. The child is far. It's like from Durban to Vryheid is like coming to Joburg.
Sure.
So it's far. I don't have that kind of money. And my baby Deji, remember now that the child is with him, with his family, so he doesn't care whether I see the child or not. Yeah. And then, I continued with school, seeing the baby like chances and stuff like that. When I went and see the baby, it was not a nice experience still. I was going to his family. They will treat me the way they want to treat me. The one incident that I remember and I will never forget is when I visited the child and the child got sick. They got this fits. I don't know, how do you call it? So she got sick and I took her to the hospital, to the Vryheid Provincial Hospital. Just when I arrived at the hospital, the granny, which is my ex-mother-in-law, and the woman was the police, the one that I said she was tormenting me. They came to the hospital together. And then this policewoman, she got a chance to insult me in the hospital. That you are here. You are actually a witch. That's why the child is sick. You are actually a bad mom. You are bewitching your child. I'm bewitching the child and them as a couple. Yeah, I'm a witch. And she planted that seed in such a way that one day when I was at school, my ex-mother-in-law, she sent me an SMS telling me that I'm a witch. I must stop being a witch. I'm bewitching his son and the girlfriend. So she planted that seed. They planted that seed, and I was a witch. Maybe even today I'm still a witch to them. Yeah. So that's the biggest drama I remember when we were at the hospital. There are many dramas that happened, but that one is the worst.
How long did that continue of the child living with the grandmother while you were still in school? Is it throughout your schooling?
Throughout. The child only came back to me when I started working. When I started working, their baby daddy came back. And you guys, she came back. And then,
what do you mean by your baby daddy came back?
Yeah, he came back and
came back how?
Yeah.
I thought you are the witch.
Freed. Yeah, the witch is no longer there. No, I'm no longer a witch. Actually, now the story is the witch was that girl. When I was,
SAPS was the witch.
Yeah. Now the SAPS was a witch. They even went to what's this traditional healers. The traditional healer said, "Oh, actually, the girl, the SAPS was a witch. It was not me." So now the roles are reversed. But when he came back, honestly, I felt like, okay, let's get married because we have a child. Yeah.
How old is the child then?
Then was 9 years old now. So let's get married and have a family.
So for 10 years, you were rejected.
Yeah. And
made to feel unworthy.
Beat me now.
You were abused.
Yeah.
You were told you were a witch.
Yeah. And I was told they don't want me.
You were told they don't want you.
Yeah. They even sent emails, which I still have them today. The baby daddy himself sent emails to me and telling me how a witch I am.
And in 2020, when we were about to go into COVID,
Yeah.
you decide this is my man and I'm gonna marry him.
And then, did that.
Did you get married?
No, it didn't happen. He paid lobola, I think it was in January or December, and by March we were separated.
Every March, April.
Yes. Yeah. So, but I broke the marriage this time. It's
Why?
not him. It didn't feel right. I don't know. As I grow up, I'm very aware of my instinct. My instinct, like I listen to them a lot. And so it didn't feel right to me at all. I tried and it didn't feel right. I remember calling my dad at home and I said, no, you need to keep the money for this man because this thing is not going to work in a month after the lobola. And it didn't work. When he paid lobola, the child is with me now. He said, okay, we are working now. Take your child. I'm paying lobola. So we are a family. The one that I always wanted. But now it was different. There was a lot of abuse in 10 years, so I couldn't take it. Now when I separate with him now, when I break off this lobola thing, I think he got angry because that's where now the real drama started. That's where now the alienation started. You know, I'm with the child. He's in Durban. I'm here in Pretoria, and I'm with the child. I'm breaking the lobola with him, so we are separating actually. So I think what happened, this is what I think, what happened in that he planned now that, okay, how am I going to take the child back to
Devin?
To his mother.
Oh, to his mom in Vryheid. Yes.
Yeah, because now we are separating.
Yeah.
The way I see it, I'm only good when I'm with him, when we are in the relationship. I'm a good mother when we are in the relationship. When we are not in the relationship, I'm a bad mom. Yeah.
You're a witch.
I'm a witch. We stayed with the child, not for too long. We stayed with the child, but I do remember vividly, I remember we stayed with the child. The child was happy, but there was something that was dodgy in staying with the child. The child had a phone and she was making a lot of calls with the granny, a lot of calls that I've never witnessed such a thing. And then I always had a question, what are you guys talking about? You know, there is one thing of calling your granny because it's your granny, but there's one thing now. What are these calls for? You know, that's where I think my child was even poisoned when she was still with me. When she was with me in the house, there was a poison that was coming via the phones, you know. There was a lot of communication. When I reprimand the child, she will tell the granny that mom reprimanded me. My child is 14 years old today. I beat her once. I don't know how many times your mother beat you.
No, I lost count.
Yes.
Yes.
The only time I beat my child was once in her life. And I think that's going to be once until we go under the grave. I'll never. So, because I was reprimanding her. And also, when I'm saying, I think the poison, they managed to poison the child when I was with her. The way she was behaving, her attitude, you know, when I was still with her, in such a way that the day I beat her, she beat me back. Yeah, she was 10 years now. And I was like, okay, what is this, you know? Yeah, she beat me back. And then after that, she took her phone and then went to the corner of the house and then she called the granny. And then they created now another story. I am abusive. Okay, I'm abusive. We stayed with the child that year, December. Now it was the time for the child to go and visit. I would let her visit the family, only to find out that they planned to take the child. And I still believe even today that when the child left my house, she knew that she's not coming back. Yeah, she knew. I don't know. She would have to talk for herself when she's older, if she really knew or not. But I believe that she knew that she's not coming back. And January came. I want my child back to come back to school. She's not coming back. There's a new story now. The child doesn't want to come back. The child hates you. The child, the child, when you're talking about you, she cry. All of those things. Yeah, well, okay, my child hates me. Now when I'm calling the child, they already took the phone from the child. She doesn't have a phone. So when I'm calling, I'm talking to the granny, you know. And then I'll be like, but why the child doesn't want? They will say, no, she's not telling us. In such a way that in that moment, they wanted to frame another story. They wanted to say the child was abused when she was with me. Because in that, when the child was with me, there's a brother of mine that I stayed with. I was helping my brother for something. So they wanted to frame a story that the child was abused because
By your brother?
Yeah, they wanted to frame a story the way her father was asking me, and then he said, "Where is your brother?" And I said, my brother left. So there was another story coming, but it didn't. Because now I had a question: why is the child hates me? What happened? They have a different version of the story. I have maybe a different version. I don't know. So when I'm asking now, I don't talk to the child anymore. And then when I'm asking the baby daddy, and then the baby daddy will say the child hates you so much in such a way that when you're talking about you, she cries so much. And I made peace. I was like, oh, she hates me? Cool.
2021, 2022,
Yeah,
the same thing
she hates
continues.
me. Yeah, she hates me. Now, 2021, remember my mom, as much as I would get angry and I will come back, I will travel here from Pretoria to Vryheid to go see the child. Yeah, just to see the child, maybe for a weekend. The experience was not good. Remember now, I'm more like of an imposter. I'm coming to see the child. Did that. When I'm telling the child to visit me, they're now starting to tell me that if the child visits, she needs to come with her cousins. I agreed. The cousins, they were coming. I was fetching them because there was another rule. It's a rule or what. The baby daddy said his child is not taking public transport. So what does that mean? I have to drive from here, Vryheid, in one day and come back in one day. I don't know how many hours is that. So I did that and I got tired. When I got tired, I tried another method of going there to spend 2 days. I got tired. I tried another method of booking a lodge and go see the child. I got tired of all those things in such a way that they a year or two before even this one, before now 2020, there was a year or two where I didn't see the child. I just got tired sometimes and I don't go see her, and then it's okay. I did that, and then until I was fed up, I said to the child that now it's recently, now 2024. I said to the child, look, I am not coming there, and you're not coming with your cousins in my house, and I am not gonna visit. You have to come. And then she said yes. I don't know who actually influenced her. And then she said yes. She came. When she came, I observed the child. She's still not happy. Remember, I have this thing in my mind that she hates me. Also, I'm looking at her, and I don't know what was said about me. So it's like we're looking at each other. We're looking at each other. Who is this? Who's this? So she was not happy still. I continued staying with her like for 2 weeks. I tried to make her happy. She was not happy. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's her personality. Remember, I don't know her that much. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It's her personality, but I could feel that she's not okay. And that's where I started to open a TikTok. I did not even have a TikTok account. I started to say, okay, because I went to therapy so many times, then we try another way of just talking alone. Open the TikTok and I start sharing my story. Many women, I forgot the word, but like many women, they've been through this journey.
They relate.
They relate. Yeah. So, and then there was this message that came, a long message. It's coming from the girlfriend of the baby daddy. She's now telling me what she knows about me. And I know that we don't have to listen to other people, but I believe that story.
Is this a new girlfriend or still a policewoman?
The policewoman, remember, they separated with her when they married me.
Okay.
So
This is a new
new
girlfriend.
girlfriend. So she said, no, I hear you are talking about your story, but this is what we know. You are an abusive mother. You don't cook. You give the child instant porridge. I got the shock of my life. You give instant porridge, and when on Fridays you don't want to cook, the child is used to the granny's food, so the child wants you to cook all the time. You don't cook, and then when you leave the child, they're talking about a 14-year-old child, you leave the child and go to the mall or wherever, the child is alone in the house. And I said, but how many times did I do that? Who doesn't leave their child in the house? And I'm living in a secure place. Like, the child is 14. Why should I carry the child anywhere I go, everywhere I go? So what was happening there? Immediately, maybe I'm leaving, going to the mall, the child would take the phone and call the dad. Immediately, we don't cook in the house on a Friday. We buy the pizza or something else. She will record that and tell back home. Anything that happens, the instant porridge, I even said, look, mina ngazi iparish leli eliphekwayo because ngizalwe ngama-90s, so angilazi leli nikhuluma ngalo, yabo. So there was a lot, man. There was a lot. And then from there, I made peace that in order for me to be in the good mental state, in order for me to heal, let me release my child, the baby daddy, and everyone that was involved. Let me release them and live my life.
Release how? Stop being a mother, basically.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like that. It's practically like that when you're looking at it. You stop being a mother, because if you're trying to be a mother, it's like you are doing it in vain. There's nothing. You stop being a mother. But then you cannot entirely stop. I've tried that many times. Stop and go and stop and go. I've tried that. You don't really stop because you are a mother. But what happened recently, I decided that, okay, this is the situation. She's starting a new school, like in Durban. Let me go see her. And I flew in and out, went to see her, got the things that she might need, the essential as a woman, all the essentials for the woman. I made sure that I stock that in such a way that maybe for 5 months she will have all of that. Yeah, I left that. I saw her. First thing she does is to ask me for money. She's been doing that. I've been the ATM gay for that's what she does to me. Ask me money. With that money, she's not gonna buy airtime and call me. No, she's not gonna do anything. Yeah, so I did that, and that's where we are now. The last time I saw her is when the school was starting. Went to Durban, went to the school. I gave her whatever that I bought for her. She asked for money, I asked, and I paid just a bill. There were the fees. There was fees that were left. The baby daddy already paid a lot of fees already, so I paid some amount and I left. I have not planned to go there again. I don't know. I will see. Maybe next month I will do the in and out again to see her during lunchtime, and then I'll come back. And I don't know until when.
Why do you think it's hard for you to give up on the relationship? Because clearly every single person, including the 14-year-old, does not want a relationship with you.
Look, if you're a mother, you can't just give up to your child. Like, you can't. They are your kids. But I think for me, I've given up when I don't get. Yeah, I've given up. Yes, it's just that being a mother, sometimes you wake up and say, "Hey, you are a mom." But I've given up. All the energy that I've been using for them, I channeled it back to me. All the energy. I don't have energy to go up and down anymore. I've done that. I don't have any energy. The only energy I am left with is for her when she comes back. She must come back and she will have to go to therapy. That is her journey now. That's her path, And it's never my dream that I'll have a child who's going to therapy, who's going to heal from the mother wound and what. But that's how it is. She'll have to do that. In the meantime, what do? We live. I always tell people, you live the life. You go for your dreams, because there's nothing that's going to change if people, they don't want to change. There's nothing. I can go to Durban every weekend. I'll be wasting my time. I'll be wasting my time.
Do you blame yourself for falling pregnant?
I always even tell the younger girls that I meet, don't fall pregnant. I do blame myself. If I did not feel pregnant, I was not going to be in this situation. I would even be far with life if I didn't. But that does not mean I hate the child. I love the child. She's the only child that I have. But I hate what came with her. Everything that she came with in my life, I hate it so much. Yeah, I don't want it. I pray sometimes that I just pray so much. I pray that when she grows up, she doesn't do the same. Obviously she will have problems. She's going to be the child with mental problems because of the mother and the father. But what I'm praying for is that she meets a man that's going to be straight with her. 1, 2, 3. Because if she meets a wrong man, she's gonna be like me. It's going down for her. Yeah. That's the thing.
Have you struggled with attaching again and being in committed relationships? Because when you trust a man, this is what they do to you.
Yeah. Me and relationships, all my relationships, they go to marriage. And I now understand. I understand why. So every relationship I am involved in, I'm looking for marriage. What am I looking for? I'm looking for stability. Not the stability of money and whatnot. I'm looking for like a family setup.
Structure.
So a structure. So I've noticed that with my relationships, always there is a marriage in between. It's only after I've realized that, you know what, let me channel all this energy to me. Let me heal. Let me do therapy. Now, if I had to get to a relationship, it would be because it's a relationship. I want to be with this person. It's no longer going to be, we have to get married tomorrow. We have to get married. No, I'm no longer there. I will get married in future. I will have more kids, but it's no longer a rush.
Healing involves having a solution to your problem.
Exactly.
How do you heal when you feel like, but I'm not getting a solution? I don't have a relationship with my daughter. How do you reconcile those two worlds? Because I'm trying to listen to you saying you are channeling that energy to yourself, but you're a mom.
Yeah, you're a mom. I've been preaching this healing thing for years. The fact that I've been doing it for years, which means I'm not there yet, or maybe at that time I was not there. I healed every part of me. I told you many stories about my upbringing. I've healed from that, but then I was not entirely happy all the time. I'll be happy, but there was something I would say, because my child is not there. Always because my child is not there. So it's not really 100% healing, but I think it's to choose. You choose. You just make a choice that I am going to focus here. While I am waiting for her to come back. I think you choose. You are not going to heal completely. It's not, but it's a choice, of which it's something that I started to do now. It's a choice. What I'm doing now is a choice.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how deep is the pain right now?
Now I think we are on 6.
Ne?
Yeah. Now we are on 6.
It used to be a constant 9, 10 all the time.
Yeah. I think now we're on 6.
Yeah.
I think we're on 6. It's okay. And what makes it better now is that there are people who are eliminated to the problem. The granny is no longer there. Okay, she's still alive, but now the child is with her father in Durban. So now there are 3 people. There's me, there's a child, and there's a father. So the father, I hope she won't hurt the child. She won't hurt the child, and I'm on the other side. So what I'm hoping for 3 to 4 years to come. My goal is 4 years. 3 to 4 years to come, I'm hoping for a different outcome. 2 things will happen. The child will come back with mental health underlying issues. Then that's the journey we'll take at that time. And then the second one, the child won't come back. The child will go to varsity and have a different life. Then we'll navigate that differently.
Sure.
But what I did not want is my life to stop. Because it stopped before. I don't want my life to be on the standstill because I'm dealing with this situation. What I told myself now is like, the child is starting grade 8. By the time she finished grade 8, let me have a life. Let me accomplish everything that I want
grade 12, to do. By the time she finished grade 12.
She's grade 12. Let me, do whatever that I always wanted to do. That's my approach in life. If you notice, no matter what I'm going through, the life, it has to go on. I'm not the person who's going to stop completely and say, my child hates me. Then am I going to sleep in the house the whole day and not wake up? The hours, they're moving, the minute after minute. So I have to move on with life.
Do you hate your baby daddy?
Funny enough, no. Guys, I don't hate this man. And you'll be so surprised when we meet together. It's like I'm talking about a different person. Like I'm talking to, We are friends when we are together. But I'm not sure if it's a manipulation that he manipulates me or something. But I don't hate him. I always say, because I don't want to keep hate in my heart, I don't hate him. And sometimes I wish this turned out differently. The fact that he took the child and I went back to school, that is okay. I am where I am because I was granted that opportunity to be at school.
That's a beautiful
I don't
outlook.
hate him.
Yeah.
I don't hate him.
Yeah.
But again, when I think about it, I don't think if he stayed with the child from the first place, I don't think we'll have these problems. I don't think we'll have this influence to the child. That's why I'm saying I am happy that people are eliminated to the problem. And that's how I solve problems. You're an engineer, we solve problems like that. You eliminate. People that were so much involved in this issue, the granny, the aunts, the girlfriends, the what, slowly the eliminated, until you are left with the core, which is now it's me, the baby daddy, and the child. We are going to maneuver this now together. If there's going to be togetherness, even if there's no togetherness, there must be a different way of approaching this. The fact that I am willing to fly to Durban and meet the child for lunchtime and come back, that is okay. Until this child, she grows up, she's 18, she will remember all the episodes. And then we'll have a different, maybe by that time we'll come on the podcast as a mom and daughter, and then we'll be telling a different story.
Yeah.
But what I didn't want, Lungelo, was my life to be standstill. I don't want that. Yabo. I want to thrive in every aspect of my life. But unfortunately, this one for the child, in motherhood, I am not thriving. And that is fine. Let me thrive in other things. And then we move.
As we near the end of our conversation, firstly, what immediate outcome, if things could happen your way, do you want?
It's so simple. What I want. It's a relationship with a child where the child visits during holidays and go back to the dad. And you will think that I'm fighting to stay with the child. I'm not fighting to stay with the child. I'm not. I just want this relationship that is so healthy, And what I would want God to remove all the influence on all the bad memories that my child has with all this situation. And I want God to instill new memory to her so that she can have a beautiful journey in life. Because what I've noticed is if you've got bad memories of your life going forward, it becomes messy. I don't want her to have a messy life. I want her to be good.
And be happy.
And be happy. I want to see a beautiful girl. At my age, I want to see my child thriving. That's what I want. So that's why I am like, I wish that memory can be just erased. And then we get a new one. So that we're going to see a person.
Sisamge came and told us today that she was alienated from her daughter for so many years. But when I asked her if she hates her daughter's father, she said actually no, because in the midst of darkness, she got to go to school, find her own identity and become herself. So the ability to find light in the pit of darkness is a takeaway for me in this conversation. Sisamge, I hope you do find your light in other areas of your life. And I hope God brings solutions to this quicker than you desire, quicker than you even imagine. And you don't have to wait that 4 years. And even if you do wait that 4 years, I hope there will be clarity as to why you went through everything you went through.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for. But other than that, life is beautiful. Let's just live life beautifully so. And remember, if I'm fighting for this child, she will not have a beautiful life there. If there's fights all the time, let there be not peace, but let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let the child be at school, staying with her father. Let me visit that lunchtime, see the child, and then go back. I don't want the noise anymore. I've heard it.
Sisamge, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a privilege. I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Okay.
Introducing the epitome of luxury living. Kalu Luxury Villas and Suites, your private sanctuary of opulence and elegance. Nestled amongst the lush, sun-kissed landscapes of Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, this Kalu Luxury Villa is a paradise of tranquility, offering breathtaking panoramic views of the neighborhood. Step into a world of refined luxury where every detail has been meticulously crafted to create an atmosphere of sophistication and comfort. This villa is kept within a gated and secure property for your peace of mind. The Kalu Villa is available for both short-term and long-term stays, making it the ideal location for your next vacation or special event. This villa boasts spacious living areas and floor-to-ceiling windows that flood the interior with natural light, making you feel at one with the surrounding beauty, paired with multiple terraces, an outdoor lounge, and a dining area. Live the dream, make memories, and indulge in the life you deserve. Contact us today to book your stay or to learn more about this exquisite property. Your oasis of opulence awaits.